All right. So one of the things we've been talking to dealers around the country about is what happens to used EV prices on October 1st, right? So I'm curious, what's your view in a couple of different scenarios? Like first is like the classic. This is like a lot of dealers call this the tax car, the tax credit car. The EV, the used EV priced at $24,999. What do you think that all else being equal, what happens to the price of that car after October 1st?
Not much. I don't
Do you think
think.
it's the same?
Yeah, it'll be very, very similar. And the
Okay.
reason for that is there's such a shortage of vehicles under $25,000, and it's
Yeah.
such a sweet spot.
Yeah.
There's two kinds of used cars out in the world. There's ones that drive SRPs and drive VDPs, and they drive activity. And then there's vehicles that drive that you switch them to. And typically 20% of the SRPs of a used car inventory are driven by, or I'm sorry, 80% of the VDPs are driven by 20% of the inventory.
Okay.
And the other 80% are commodity cars that you can acquire easily at the auction or somewhere else, right? But there's not a lot of demand for them. So in many cases, a lot of EVs will fall into that category where that's not what somebody came in to look at. They came in looking for a Camry, 2023 Camry, 2022. And these dealers are very strategic. Next to it, they have a Model S or Model 3 next to a Corolla, and they're saying, hey, you know what? I can't get you to that payment on this car, but on this car, it's newer, it's a year newer, better technology. It's
Yeah.
got all these other features, and it's an EV. Have you ever considered an EV? Now, that's the reason why on cars.com,
Yeah.
only 7%, I think, of the searches are for EVs, but 13% of the sales that are removed
Oh,
inventory
wow.
are
Yeah.
EVs. And that's why, right? So the customers go in there, I can't do that, but hey, this car is under $25,000 and I can get the favorable terms. Oh, and you've got negative equity because everybody paid too much during COVID. And by the way, this EV can handle that better than this gas engine can. So
Okay.
that's one piece of it. So that's why I don't think that the under $25,000 cars will be
Yeah.
affected, because the
Okay.
ones that are very good at retailing those cars won't they can't get enough of those vehicles
Yeah. Okay.
because of the affordability and the price point.
Okay. So there's a whole other set, right? I mean, there are there are used EVs that are way under that. There are $5,000 used Leafs out there. There's like an interesting cluster right around $13,000 on the used side. And the reason for that is because that's the minimum price that it has to be listed at in order to get the entire $4,000 credit. Like, because it's like 30% of the value of the car or 4,000, whichever is less. So there's like these interesting little like pockets, I think, of inventory. Like I almost think of them as like price point magnets. So do you see even on that lower end of the market, the $5,000 Leaf, the $13,000 Chevy Bolt? You also think no movement there after October 1st?
I do. And this will be interesting to come back and look at this.
Yeah. We're totally going to
After
come
that,
back and
we
see,
should.
were you completely wrong or were you the wisest person in the universe? Okay.
And
Um,
I would, if I was in inventory right now, I would be gobbling that up because there's a lot of price hesitation and risk aversion on that
yeah.
type of inventory because of the uncertainty of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a phenomenal time. I would be buying every single one I could possibly get if I was in retail.
Yeah.
Now, where you're going next, that's a different conversation.
High into the market.
If you're going
Yeah.
up, yeah.